Hello, and thank you for joining us for another MembersVillage training video. What we are going to be looking at today is how to modify a table to add new columns that might not already be in place. And what we're going to use for demonstrative purposes today is just a fictional table I'm using for testing purposes, which is quite simple. It's got just one field, which is the caption, and I've also got three different records in this table already, which is perfectly fine, as we'll be able to see how the data changes, etc. So the thing that we're going to want to do first is to actually start meddling with the table structure is head over to the data section and then configure. Now you could just simply click on this with your left hand mouse. What I'm actually going to do this is I'm going to open this up in a brand new tab so I can switch back and forth between what the end result is and how we can go about changing it. And what I'm also going to do is here in this table view, I'm just going to go ahead and hit add choice. And this will actually show us the different fields that we're adding as we're going along. Now, I do want to point out here is because I am running the test instance of MembersVillage in more than one language, and I have specified the caption as a multi-language field, meaning the system will ask me to put in the English version and then an alternate language version as well. However, for the rest of the fields that we'll be creating, I'll just be creating those in a single language. So let's get to it. And under edit table, what you'll find is that you're going to have a whole bunch of different categories and field types within those categories that you can choose from. Now, I'm not going to run through all the different types today, just because there's quite a few. What I am going to do, however, is pick a random one from each category and then go ahead and add one of those. So from the very first category under our text fields, what I'm going to go ahead and do is just add in a website address. So once I click on that, I can then give it a column name. So in this case, I'm going to call my new field just link. I do want to leave the active flag as checked because I obviously want that field to be active right away. I then have a choice. Do I want to make this field required or not? For my purposes, I'm going to leave this field as a non-required field. And show in default table view. What this option does is, I'm just going to go back here real quick, is this is our default table view. So were I to check off show in default table view, or I'll leave it as is right now, what it will do is it will then draw the values of that column right in this view for me. And then include translations. Well, I'm not going to do that as I mentioned. I'm just going to leave it as English, and I'm just going to go ahead and add it. So now that we've added in our link field, I can then simply just come back here, hit F5 or refresh my screen, and we can see here that the link field has been added. What I'm going to do again is just go ahead and add in one field from the other four types. So I'm going to go into numeric, and under numeric, what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a rating of 1 to 5. I'm just going to call it rating. And now I'm going to make this field actually required. Under date and time, I'm going to choose a date only. And I'm going to leave this not required, and I'm going to remove it out of the default view. And under choices, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a checklist. And give it a name. And I do not want to show this in the default table view either. And under other, I have quite a few fields, going from a simple yes and no to a reference field to a signature field, and that is what I'm going to add in today. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on signature. I'm going to then add it. Now you may notice that some of the fields, especially all those underneath the choices category, once you actually add the field to your table structure, we'll have this little label here of no choices. So to go ahead and then add choices which a user can choose from, I'm just simply going to click on the kebab here and go into choices. And what I could do is choose a source table. So for example, had I created another table in the database that I wanted to bring in the values of that into my new table, I would be able just to find that table and then have the system automatically bring those in. However, I'm just going to go ahead and add a bunch of new options for this particular table. What this in turn will do is it will also generate a brand new table for these options. So do I ever wish to come back and then modify these choices, remove them, add more? I'll be able to do that through the new table. So here I'm just going to go and add in a couple of options. And I'm just going to go ahead and apply that. And now my options are in here as well. So now were I to come back to my table view and refresh this, I would then see all of the new fields that I had created would now be present. So here's link, rating, and signature. If I was then to go ahead and add a brand new choice, you would see that the new fields appear as well. So, and in this case, they're also indicated which fields are required, and our toppings and our signature field. And that is how you go about modifying your table structure. Now, I will have another video of covering all of the different database types one by one. However, feel free to play around with the field types. We did try to make them as descriptive as possible. Try them out. You can always remove them if you don't like a field type or it doesn't do the job you want it to do, and then you can replace it with another type. Thanks for joining us for today's training session.